Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Jason, and this is our Creation Homestead. We're in the kitchen again today, and we're going to do some more apples. All right, we've got plenty of apples out, and Angela Kay has got a great idea for a fabulous caramel apple jam. Okay, so she's going to show you how to do it.
So of course we have to start with peeling the apples. Again, we are using our trusty apple peeler. As I've told you, it's my best friend this time of year. I am using Honeycrisp apples. You can use Honeycrisp, you can use Granny Smith, you can use any more firm apple. This is throwing juice in my face. These are very juicy apples. So, now, you want to peel your apple, and I'm letting it go ahead and spiralize it as well. As you can see, it's coming apart because the core is so hard on Honeycrisp. Your core is so hard that sometimes you will do that with a spiralizer. But see, any peel that it left behind, you'll want to peel that off. You don't want the peel in it. But let me show you, this is the important part. I'm going to make sure you get any seeds out of there, because sometimes these cores, or any sort of core that you use, will sometimes leave little portions of seeds. You don't want that in there.
Nope.
This is not apple seed jam. You don't want that in there. So you want to clean up any little bits of peel that may have been left on. These apples smell delicious.
I was going to say, I smell them all the way back here.
These apples smell delicious. Now I'm going to show you how you want to cut it, because you want a smaller little dice. So even these spirals, you want to cut in small pieces, because this is jam. It's not, you don't want big hunks. So you're going to cut them in little squares. See, you want them about like that.
Yep.
Now we are going to put these in acidulated water, which is just water with lemon juice in it. This is just a little bit of water with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. And now we're going to finish peeling and cutting up our 6 cups, and then I'll show you what we do next. Now, these steps that I'm about to show you now, it's very important to do this before you get started on anything else, because this goes so fast that you want everything to be ready when you're ready. So the first thing you need to do, you have about a half a cup of your sugar, your white sugar, in a bowl, and you empty 1 package of low sugar Sure Jell, which is the pink box, not the yellow box. Please use the low sugar.
Yes, yes. Because
otherwise you will be using way too much sugar. And this is going to be sweet. I mean, it's caramel apple, but it would be a lot. It would take a lot more sugar if you used
better apple flavor and better caramel flavor.
And you want to mix those two together. You want to do this so that your sugar works as an abrasive to break up any lumps in your Sure Jell. Now here in this cup we have a half a teaspoon of butter. If you've watched me make jam before, you know that this is an old canner's trick. If you put this in, when you put in your pectin, it will drastically reduce the amount of foam that you have to scoop off the top. Now over here we have the rest of our sugar. I know this is odd for jam, but that's what makes it caramel apple. So you have 2.5 cups of white sugar. We use pure cane sugar. And you have 2 cups of packed brown sugar, light brown sugar. Now we're going to go over to the stove and we'll get started with our apples. In this pot we have those 6 cups of chopped up Honeycrisp apples that I showed you before, and we have a half a cup of water. And you want to turn this on medium-high heat, and you want to let this cook until your apples start to soften. It should probably take only about 20 minutes or so for them to soften. It depends on the type of apple you're using though. It could take anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. Now you want to keep moving this. You want to keep it stirring. Once it starts to cook, you want to keep stirring them so that they don't scorch. And I'll be back and show you what we do next. As you can see, the apples are nice and cooked. They're nice and soft, but not breaking down. You want an apple that's not going to break down. That's why you want a harder apple, like a Honeycrisp or a Granny Smith or something like that. These perfectly ripe Honeycrisp only took about 10 minutes to cook. Now we're going to turn our heat down to medium because we don't want this part to go too fast. We're going to put in our Sure Jell and a half cup of sugar and our little bit of butter. And you want to stir that in. And at this point it starts going really fast. So you want to make sure that you have your canner on. You want it to be boiling. You want to have your lids ready in hot water. You want to have everything ready because it's not going to take long at all at this point. So you will let this go, stirring it constantly until it comes to a boil that you can't stir down. And I will show you what that looks like. See, now you're at a boil that won't stir down. See, now I'm still stirring, but see, it's still boiling. It's still boiling no matter what that I'm stirring. So now you want to add your sugar, your white sugar and your brown sugar. This is why it's important to have it measured out ahead of time. Now you want to stir that all in really good. And you want to make sure your sugar gets dissolved really good because it's going to take a little longer for your sugar to dissolve because of that brown sugar.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a little bit longer for it to get dissolved.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to bring this back up to a boil that won't stir down. And you want to let it boil for 1 minute. As you can see, it's boiling and I'm stirring it and it's not stirring down. So now you want to set your timer for 1 minute. You can stir it occasionally, but you don't have to keep constantly stirring it at this point. Now, it's been 1 minute, and this stuff is screaming hot, so be extremely careful, because you're dealing with very hot sugar here. Now we're going to load it into the jars. You want to leave about 1/4 of an inch headspace. And that is gorgeous.
It looks good.
That smells really good.
It does.
With jams and jellies, you will always want to give it about 1/4 of an inch headspace.
Why is it less for that than it is on some other things?
Because as viscous as it is, you have less of a chance of it boiling over.
It don't expand too much?
It don't expand that much.
Okay.
Because it's already expanded. Your Sure Jell has already made it expand.
Oh, okay.
So you want to work very quickly because you don't want what's in your pot to get too thick.
Right.
So you want to work very, very quickly at this point. Put on your lid that is in hot water from your canner. Screw this lid down just finger tight, and you want to load it into your canner. And I'll finish loading these and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, last jar going in. It made 3 pints, or it will make 6 half pints. 6 little jelly jars. Now we're going to put in our plate. Like I said, if you're doing this like I've told you before, if you're doing this on the stove, you won't have that plate. That's just for the Ball electric water bath canner. Now you want to bring this back up to a bubble, and once your water's at a bubble, you want to let it process for 10 minutes. And then you want to turn your heat off and let it sit for 5 minutes. It's been 10 minutes and then it's rested for 5. This is another one of those things that you want to pull straight up and straight out. And look how beautiful that is.
That's nice.
That is gorgeous.
It is.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
Too bad it's not brighter right here.
Yeah. But look,
you can
at
see it
that.
all there. It looks great.
Those pieces of apple just spin right in it. That is going to be amazing.
It is.
Now, you want to let these sit for 18 to 24 hours without moving them. I'm going to take a rag and gently dab the water off the top but do not press on the popper. The little bulge in the middle, do not press on that because you'll get a false seal. You just want to kind of dab your water away, and as I said, leave it sit for 18 to 24 hours and then you can store it away.
Alright y'all, Angela's over there finishing that up. We got a mess to clean up, but first I'm going to show you what we got here. Look at that. I got a spoonful left over so I can taste it for you. Wow, that's amazing. Alright, that's a brilliant recipe. Great flavors. When it sets up, when it gets cold, you're going to want to eat that on a biscuit or some toast. Just whatever. It's simply amazing. Heck, I bet you can spread it on some waffles or pancakes. That's what it tastes.
You could even put that on ice cream the way it tastes.
Yeah, or just eat it by a spoonful by itself. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We do appreciate y'all so much. So thank you. We love you guys. God bless you and goodbye.